Saigo Takamori was born on January 23, 1828 in Satsuma Province, present-day Kagoshima Prefecture, to a low-ranking samurai family. His childhood name was Kokichi. The Saigou family was poor, and Kokichi worked from an early age to support the family. While acquiring the culture of a samurai, he was also passionate about learning, and had a particular interest in Confucianism. He was discovered by Shimazu Nariakira, who would later become a senior vassal of the Satsuma domain, and set out on the path of a samurai. Saigo worked as an aide to Shimazu Nariakira, and worked hard to reform the Satsuma domain. Nariakira was a progressive lord, who actively sought to incorporate Western technology and knowledge. Saigo supported this policy and worked to promote reform within the domain. However, when Nariakira suddenly died in 1858, the power struggle within the domain intensified, and Saigo was temporarily overthrown. In 1862, Saigo was ordered by Shimazu Hisamitsu to go to Edo and participate in negotiations with the Edo shogunate. This allowed him to regain his position within the domain, and play an important role in the Satsuma domain. In 1864, together with the Choshu domain, present-day Yamaguchi Prefecture, he launched a movement to overthrow the shogunate. Saigo established an alliance between the Satsuma and Choshu domains, the Satsuma-Choshu Alliance, and built a military foundation for the overthrow of the shogunate. This alliance, mediated by Sakamoto Ryoma of the Tosa domain, became an important turning point in Japanese political history. Saigo demonstrated his military talent, and developed a strategy for the overthrow of the shogunate. In 1867, the Tokugawa shogunate returned power to the emperor, and the Meiji Restoration began the following year in 1868. As a leader of the new government forces, Saigo defeated the former shogunate forces in the Boshin War and contributed to the pacification of Japan. After the Meiji Restoration, Saigo was a central figure in the new government, and was involved in the establishment of the Ministry of Home Affairs and the Ministry of War, promoting reforms to build the foundations of a new nation. He supported the abolition of samurai privileges, and the introduction of a modern conscription system, making a significant contribution to the modernization of Japan. However, opposition to his radical reforms also grew. Saigo once left the government and returned to his hometown of Kagoshima, distancing himself from politics. However, as conflicts within the government intensified and dissatisfaction among the former samurai grew, he returned to central politics. In 1877, Saigo's conflict with the government deepened, and he finally sparked the Satsuma Rebellion. The Satsuma Rebellion was a civil war, in which former samurai were at the center of a rebellion against the new government. Saigo led the Satsuma warriors in battle, but was forced into a disadvantageous position against the modern weapons and new tactics of the government army. The battle was extremely fierce, and in the end, Saigo himself was on the battlefield. The war lasted for more than half a year, but in the end, the government army was victorious and the rebel army was annihilated. Saigo committed suicide in the middle of the battle, ending his life. His death shocked many people and was greeted with sadness and respect. The life of Saigo Takamori occupies a unique place in Japanese history. He was a man who combined the pride of a samurai with the perspective of a reformer during the turbulent times. From the end of the Edo period to the Meiji period, Saigo's achievements, such as the establishment of the Satsuma-Choshu Alliance, the promotion of the Meiji Restoration, and domestic reforms, contributed greatly to the modernization of Japan. And their influence continues to this day. His name is still widely spoken of in Japanese history, education, literature, art, and more. Saigo Takamori continues to have a great influence on future generations as a hero who faced difficulties with courage and conviction and pushed for change.